Why are the financial giants buying up XRP while everyone else is afraid? Something truly fascinating is happening right under our noses, and you need to see it. While the average person is feeling anxious or bored with the market, the big institutions are moving in the shadows. Since just December 9th, over $1 billion worth of XRP has been quietly scooped up and moved off exchanges. That's not a typo. In that short time, a staggering 45% of all the XRP available for you and me to buy has simply vanished into the private wallets of these major players. Now, that should make you stop and think. Why is it that at the very moment retail sentiment is hitting rock bottom, institutional demand is exploding to unprecedented levels? This isn't a coincidence, it's a strategy. It tells me that a classic game is afoot. The smart money is actively trying to shake you out, to make you so frustrated that you sell your position. They are creating fear and doubt in the streets while they are greedily accumulating everything they can possibly get their hands on. The most common question I hear is, well, if they're buying so much, why isn't the price skyrocketing? It's a fantastic question, and the answer lies in understanding how the big fish really operate. They aren't logging onto an app and hitting the buy button like we do. They are conducting massive over-the-counter, or OTC, trades. These are private, backroom deals arranged at pre-negotiated prices, and then intermediaries are sent to sweep the assets off the public exchanges. This isn't some new crypto conspiracy. It's a playbook that has been used in the traditional stock market for decades. They suppress the public price and create a frustrating, sideways market to bore you into submission, all while they are building their massive positions behind the curtain. The goal is to accumulate as much as possible at the lowest prices before the public catches on to what's really happening. You just have to learn how to recognize the game while it's being played. And now the perfect fuel has just been added to this fire. The Federal Reserve announced they're lowering interest rates. For those who don't follow the jargon, that's basically a green light for risk-on assets like digital currencies. It just became cheaper for these massive institutions to borrow money. And you can bet they are going to pour that cheap capital into the markets that they believe have the most explosive potential for growth. This is how they amplify their returns. We've seen this movie before. We often see a massive disconnect where the regular economy on Main Street is struggling, yet the financial markets are going absolutely bonkers. This is a direct result of central banks pumping the system full of easy money. We saw it during the global lockdowns when the entire world came to a screeching halt. Yet the markets experienced one of the most incredible bull runs in history. The central banks are at the very heart of this game, and they're just getting started. Everything in the financial world begins and ends with the debt market. And right now, the central banks are printing money like there's no tomorrow to provide liquidity to the system. But here's the twist. While they solve one liquidity crunch, another one is being created right before our eyes. With nearly half the available XRP on exchanges gone, we are facing a massive supply-side liquidity crunch for this specific asset. The spring is being coiled tighter and tighter every single day. The price isn't reflecting this reality. But just wait. All it will take is one piece of major news, one regulatory breakthrough, or one flick of a switch, for this whole situation to change in the blink of an eye. We've seen it happen before. The price can grind along sideways for months, lulling everyone to sleep, and then one day, bang, it takes off like a rocket ship, leaving everyone who wasn't paying attention behind. This setup is a classic precursor to that exact type of explosive move. While this market manipulation is going on, the company Ripple is playing chess, not checkers. They are methodically putting all the pieces in place to become a dominant force in the future of finance. They have an application in with the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency to become a federally regulated bank in the United States. Can you imagine the implications of that? One of the largest holders of a digital asset becoming an official, chartered U.S. banking institution. And look at their acquisitions. They aren't just buying random companies. They are buying the core pillars of the new financial system. They bought Mitaco and Standard Custody for institutional-grade custody services, the ability to securely hold trillions in digital assets. They partnered with Hidden Road, now Ripple Prime for prime brokerage, which is how big institutions trade. They spent a fortune to acquire G-Treasury to dominate cross-border payments and corporate treasury solutions. Each of these moves is a deliberate step toward building the essential plumbing for the tokenized economy. They aren't just waiting for the future. They are actively building it, piece by piece. They are positioning themselves to be the go-to solution for banks, corporations, and governments when this new system goes fully online. This isn't speculation. It's a publicly documented corporate strategy that is unfolding right now, and the smart money is clearly paying very close attention to it. So when the switches are finally flipped and this technology moves from simple adoption to full-scale application and utility, people are going to weep when they look back at the prices we are seeing today. I am 100% convinced of that. We are in the final stages of the accumulation phase, where the opportunity is greatest, but the psychological pressure is at its absolute peak. The goal is to make you give up right before the entire landscape is set to change forever. It's truly amazing to see the comments from people who claim they've been holding for 7 or 8 years and are just so tired of waiting. If you were really in this space that long, you would have seen the run-up in 2017 and 2018. You would have had the chance to buy this asset for well under a penny. A simple $6,000 investment back then would have secured you 1 million XRP, which you could have sold a year later for over $3 million. And even if you missed that opportunity, you had another chance during the 2020 to 2021 cycle and another recent chance in the 2024 to 2025 period. The idea that there have been no opportunities is complete and utter hogwash. It's a narrative pushed to create frustration and impatience. Anyone who has truly been around for that long and has been accumulating knows that they have been able to acquire a position at ridiculously low prices compared to where this is all heading. Let's put the future into perspective for a moment. Right now, about $20,000 might get you 10,000 XRP. When the price hits just $10 a target, many believe is not just possible, but probable. That same 10,000 XRP will cost you $100,000 to acquire. The barrier to entry will have increased by 5 times. It's a simple change, but it makes a world of difference for the average person trying to build a meaningful position. Now let's stretch our imagination a bit further down the road, to a future where this technology is fully integrated into the global financial system. At a price of $100 per XRP, which may sound crazy now, that same 10,000 XRP will cost a cool $1 million. The door to creating life-changing wealth will have effectively closed for most people. These are the moments right now when those doors are still wide open for those with the vision to see it. Do I personally believe we will see prices like that? Based on my extensive research into the tokenization of quadrillions of dollars in assets and the utility this technology is designed to provide, my biased opinion is yes, we absolutely will. The real question isn't whether I believe it, but why. It's because the evidence all points to a massive replatforming of the world's financial value, and you don't rewire the global economy without a tremendous repricing of the core assets that enable it. This is why it is so critical to have a plan and to stick with it. Don't let the short-term price action and the coordinated fear campaigns shake you from your long-term conviction. Understand that the volatility is not a bug, it's a feature. It is a tool used by the largest players in the world to separate you from what will likely become one of the most valuable assets of the next generation. Their short-term gains are your long-term opportunity, but only if you have the stomach to endure them. This period in history will likely be remembered as the greatest wealth transfer mankind has ever witnessed. It's a shift from an old analog debt-based system to a new, digital, tokenized one. Fortunes will be made and lost during this transition, and the primary determining factor will be knowledge and patience. Those who understand what is being built and have the fortitude to hold through the manufactured chaos are positioning themselves on the right side of this historic event. So, take this time to solidify your own understanding and your own strategy. Block out the daily noise and focus on the fundamental signals like the billion-dollar institutional buys and the strategic acquisitions by the industry's key builders. The great days are not behind us. They are directly in front of us. Don't let them convince you to walk away from the table right before all the cards are about to be revealed. Stay strong, stay focused, and be ready for the change that is coming.